Howdy do, folks. There's the old mountain man talking at you from the backside of this here lake in the hills, Arkansas. Well, I got a little something in the mail today. Got me some jumbo ferro rods. Oh boy. Now these are some whoppers. I only got one problem with this one. It's not exactly straight. Let's see here. You can see there's a gap right there. As I turn it, it just kind of forms a gap there, and you can see it's not exactly straight. Well, really, neither one of them's really that straight. But this one here is really off kilter. Mosquitoes are starting to eat me up. Oh, but really the functionality of the ferro rod's not really impaired by it being crooked. It's just not too pleasing to the eye. Yeah, it's a funny thing about humans, if something doesn't look just right, then they get kind of off kilter about it their own selves. They're not too pleased with it. Yeah, time for a smoke. And as I try to say in my, whoops, there you go. As I try to say to the youngins out there, if you've not started smoking cigarettes or tobacco yet, please don't. It's not good for you. It's an addictive habit I've had for 37 years. Tried to give it up a few times here and there with no success. I tend to get big grumpy and grappy. Not really know what to do with myself whenever I put down the tobacco for too long. But the good thing is I've been finding ways to detox my body from the nicotine and its ill effects. And one of those is the Reishi Mushroom from Asia. It's been used for over 2,000 years, and it fights against free radicals that harm the body, and free radicals are produced by the body itself. And through, you can get free radicals in your body through cigarette smoke, car exhaust, airplane exhaust, just pollution of all kinds. And as I said before, the body itself produces free radicals. Some say free radical cell damage is what causes us to die. What causes cancer and other diseases that damage the human body. Now, I'm not saying that you can completely avoid damage of cigarette smoke. I know it shortens your wind where you can't run quite so fast or as far. I know I'm limited in a lot of ways because of this, and had to compensate through smarts here and there. The little beard of mine getting kindly long. Noticed I got a few white hairs here and there, and the camera doesn't really show that too well. But at any rate, I got those jumbo ferro rods, and I opened up that envelope and I'm like, whoa, that is gonna be one heck of a fire starter. That's gonna last for years and years and years, and I'll be putting custom handles in these, and a custom handle ferro rod will be available through me and you're gonna have to request one. I can't keep these things in stock and on hand all the time, and I accept postal money orders, and I will get the order out as soon as possible. Within 2 business days, most generally. What I'm doing right now is trying to get this other regular size ferro rod out here to do a little comparison, a little side-by-side comparison. Take a look at that. There's your orange handle ferro rod, and there's the 5-inch, 1/2-inch thick ferro rod. Oh boy, quite a difference. Quite a difference indeed. And those will have to have a custom wooden handle. That's a 1/2 inch thick, 5 inches long, or 5.5 inches long. Holy mackerel! This one here, I set a 3.5 inch Magnum 12 gauge shell up on this and up on this one in a previous video, and I ended up having a bit more ferro rod there extended out above that 3.5 inch Magnum shell. Man, I still can't get over that. I'm gonna order a couple of these, a couple more of these. I may order about 10 of them and keep them on hand, as a matter of fact, you know. But they're mighty expensive for the big ones like this. Man, I swear, I still can't get over it. And I've seen an extra jumbo one that's just dang near as long as my arm. You know, 18, 20 inches long. Holy cow. I was thinking about getting one of those too. Maybe 2 or 3. But they're so doggone expensive, and these here ain't cheap for me. Yeah. That's one heck of a thing, but keep thinking about that reishi mushroom. I've been ordering some of those, and I got about 2 pounds of reishi mushroom powder in the house. And I've been taking it. I've had to put it in capsules because reishi mushrooms are not exactly tasty. They're bitter. Bitter as can be. Then, oh, I put some of that stuff in my mouth. I just tasted it, and oh, after I tasted it and I looked at that bag, I just got a bad taste in my mouth all over again. It was that bad. But man, oh, the char cloth that I worked on in my last video, making char cloth like a boss, this is it. But I had to replace this and continue the charring process because this burnt completely off. I put too much, I put way too much hickory in the fire and completely obliterated this, and it just completely burned it all up. Let's take this off. Oh, I see some ash. Yeah. Take a look at the inside versus that side. All that soot and everything, all that residue built up. Yeah. Some of the char cloth has got, let's see, kind of turn that so you can see the gray. When I looked in the fire, the top had been, that aluminum had been completely burned up. And oh boy, I wonder if this is gonna actually work after having been, it's charred almost to a crisp. I wonder if that's actually gonna work. It's gonna catch a spark. Use this one. I misplaced my other ferro rod with a piece of the file, so I'm gonna be using the stock striker in this ferro rod here. Let's see if it's going to catch a spark. Doesn't look like it's going to light. Let's dig down in there and see just how bad it got. Looks like the rest of the char cloth, well, I may have to kind of cull out the pieces that are charred too much or burnt too much, because it's just not catching a spark. Let's see here. I'm afraid that piece of char cloth, that batch of char cloth is ruined, because it's just not taking a spark. There's no ember catching. Well, it caught a little bit on the end. Looks like it will work. Caught on the side too. I was watching a couple of videos and I got an idea. You take a knife blade, scrape off some of the ferrocerium off your ferro rod with a knife blade. Scrape slow, don't let it spark, and let it fall on the char cloth. And then use that, or you can use a magnesium bar. Try to get a Coughlin's or a Doan's for magnesium bar, and avoid those ones made in China. There's a video here on YouTube about the magnesium bar fire starter fraud or something. I'll hit the like button on that one, and I'll find it and hit the like button on it so people can get a load of that one. Now, for some people it works, some people it don't. Might have been a bad batch, who knows. But I prefer the more reliable magnesium bars and the ferro rods. And these here, I'm sure, are gonna work just fine. I think I'll keep this crooked one for myself and sell the more straight ones. Unless people just specifically tell me, it's okay with them. And I'll be making custom handles for them. And these are going to be expensive because they're expensive for me. They're going to run about 40 to 45 bucks a piece. And that's with the shipping and handling and everything. And nothing's going to change in that. Whenever it comes to the shipping, handling, and all that, it's all included in the price. The orange handle ones, 15 bucks a piece. And then, like I said, these things are just so huge. These larger ones are just enormous. And move that over there. Use the trailer for a background. Oops. I can't get used to the mirrored effect of this webcam here. It is just something. But I'm going to be putting a link about the Reishi mushrooms down in the video description. I'm looking at this ferro rod where I used that toothed edge, the toothed edge there. And it just chewed the daylights out of that ferro rod. And I always suggest a knife blade because it's not going to peel off quite so much of the ferro rod. Now it'll come, that toothed edge on that striker, on the stock striker, will completely just eat it up. So I wouldn't really use that too awful much. And I do have one of these where I used the Dremel to grind it down to a knife-like edge. But, oh man, these things right here. I had seen one of my buddies here on YouTube. Let's see. Let's go to my subscribers list. Go to my channel. I know the first part of his YouTube name is Prestige 6473. Yeah, he had seen a jumbo ferro rod on YouTube, and he said that he'd really like to have one. And that was probably, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 months ago. And he asked the owner of the ferro rod, said, "Where'd you get that? I'd like to have one of those jumbo ferro rods." Well, there you go, brother. There's one right here. But like I said, these things are going to be expensive. You know, they cost me quite a bit. Otherwise, I would have bought more than just 2 this past month. And since I'm, you know, working with a fixed income due to an injured back that I got back in 1996, working in that furniture factory. I said this, I've told people about this on a video on my previous channel before I deleted that channel. I was working in a furniture factory, and I ended up with back there in the back, where the back of the warehouse, where they kept the bundles of cotton for the futon sofas that they made in that factory. And my job at my task during that particular time was to help to rearrange the bundles of cotton once they were unloaded by the forklift driver. Forklift driver was raising the forks way off the floor as far as he could get them to shake he was shaking the forklift, pulling it forward and back, making a jerking motion, and one of those bundles of cotton toppled off, landed on my shoulder, landed on my left shoulder, and ended up pinning me to the floor. Shortly after that, I lost my job. And what can you do if you can't get up and go to work in the morning? I worked for about 2 weeks after that. Forced myself, get out of bed, get in a hot tub of water, and soak until those muscles loosened up. And I'm not the kind of man that wants to be sitting around on his backside all the time, you know, doing nothing. I've always got to constantly be doing something. I've got to get up, exercise, do something, and keep things limbered up to a point. You know, sitting down too long is a pain. Being on my feet too long is a pain. Laying down too long is a pain. I don't really sleep any amount to where you could say that I got any good rest. Oh, and I got a way to solve the problem of the aluminum. Got me a little tin here, and it's bigger than this can here. Quite a bit bigger. You know, if I had my way about it, I wouldn't be on YouTube trying to sell things to try to start a business. I'd be in a factory somewhere working, making an hourly wage. I'd be out landscaping. It's what I was trained to do. Went to Tuck and Leave Job Corps in Tahlequah, Oklahoma whenever I was 16 years old and learned to be a landscaper. Well, I caught hell for that one from my fellow Job Corps attendees. Oh, he's taking that flower class. Yeah, well, look at all the landscapers that's making big bucks these days. What a pain that was. Oh, boy. I swear. Everybody else is taking heavy equipment classes and other vocations that yeah, something a little more manly, they said. Okay. I seen where the money was going to be in quite a few years. And quite a few years later, there it was. You know, there's a landscaper on every corner in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And it is got to be a high dollar business. But can't do that. Yeah. I applied for a job with a landscape company, and they asked me if I knew anything about these modern lawn mowers, these riding mowers. This got the 360-degree rotation on. I don't know anything about riding one of those or driving one of those things. I could learn. I told them I'm a quick learner. But I lost out to somebody that knew how. And here's a little funny story for you. When I was living in Fort Smith, Arkansas, a place called Village South Apartments, had a character move in there. He had a degree in landscaping, but he had to ask me how to operate a coin-operated machine to wash his clothes. That we had coin-operated laundry there. He didn't even know how to run a washing machine. And what good's a landscaping degree if you don't even know how to? You know, it's a far cry away from it. But I said, he said, you lived with Mama your whole life, hadn't you? He said, well, my mom did do my laundry, and you know, that poor kid. I felt sorry for him. I showed him how to operate the machine. But it just amazes me at the lack of knowledge today's youth has. But then again, their kids just as smart as they can be. Yeah, knowledge is doubled and tripled and quadrupled. You know, they say by 2025 we're going to have robotic bodies or some crap like that. I wouldn't give up the human experience for nothing. Now, I might want something like a robotic eye or something put in there so I could have great, outstanding vision for, target practice. Shooting, wouldn't that be great? Be able to locate a target in the dark, you know, be able to reach up here, switch from normal vision to starlight to thermal to infrared. I was shot in the eye with a BB gun whenever I was a kid. Yeah, I'm that classic case. Don't play with that. Don't play with that BB gun, you'll shoot your eye out. Well, I did. Well, it was me and my brother, and he shot aboard. It was a complete total accident. I ended up in the hospital for a couple weeks. Doctor said I'd never see well out of that eye again. And he was right. Yeah, he saved what vision there was. He helped me with what vision I could have, and it's just blurred. I can see, catch movement. It's still functional to a point, so I keep it. And I keep it in. I don't put a patch over it. It has a tendency to pull out that away because there are muscle strands here, 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 and here. And the muscle strands on the outside of the eye are stronger than the others, so it pulls out to the right when it's not moving. When I try to look someone dead in the eye and talk to them, little bear was coughing about something. Well, quit eating that, stupid. Crazy dog. Anyway, when I try to look someone dead in the eye and talk to them, which I am bound to do, that eye pulls out that way, just slowly creeps out that way. And I get an odd expression from people at times, which has prompted me to, maybe work on an eye patch to wear whenever I'm out in public. And I've been thinking about just wearing one permanently, because I know that eye bothers people, and I shouldn't really give a damn, but I do. It bothers me when people don't want to look me right in the eye when they're talking to me, because that one eye is creeping out the other way. Yeah, it's pain. But at any rate, folks, this video is about over and done with, and as I always say, be good to yourselves and be good to each other, and watch out for those wolves in sheep's clothing out there in the world that'll try to deceive you and get one over on you. It's a terrible mess the way this world has come to, but something we're going to have to deal with one person at a time. If you want to make a change in the world, be that change. Yeah, I heard that in a song some time back. Never was really a fan of the man who came up with that song, but hey, made sense. So we'll see y'all later, and this is the Old Mountain Man signing off from the backside of this here lake in the hills, Arkansas. Adios for now.